It's that time again. Time for some real talk about real issues to enhance your real life. Whatever you think, whatever you know, whatever you feel, Tanya doesn't mind talking about it. Get ready for some real talk that is always rated R, because Talk with Tanya has got to be relevant. Talk with Tanya has got to be refreshing. But most importantly, Talk with Tanya has got to be real. Tune in right now for Real Talk with Tanya White.
Hello, and welcome once again to another dynamic show of the Real Talk with Tanya White show. You know, it is me, your girl, Tanya White, and our show is always rated R for being real, relevant, and refreshing. When you hear this, we're going to be in the month of September, and all these shows this month are going to make you understand why this is going to be a September to remember. Before we get to our guest for the evening, I got to give a big, huge shout out to our September sponsors, authors Casper and Cheryl Stockhams. They are authors of their collective book that they did together, Divorce Proofing Your Marriage. Then they each have their own book. Casper has Mastering Adam and Cheryl has Mastering Eve. You can visit them at their website to get a signed copy of their book at IamLoveBuilders.com, or you can get it off Amazon.com. Thank you, Casper and Cheryl, for your support. If you would like to be a sponsor of our show, please email me at realtalkwithtanyawhite@gmail.com. You know Tanya is spelled Tanya. White is in the color. Don't you spell Tanya with no O. No O nowhere, okay? Now let's get to our guest tonight. She calls herself a holistic pain and trauma warrior. She is Kayshaun Brooks, and she is founder of Renew Your Body Butters. Did I read that right?
Renew You
Body. But come on, let me get it right, girl. I'm 54, and these eyes I gotta increase my accent. Welcome to the show, Kayshaun. How you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much, Tanya, for having me on as a guest. It is a pleasure. I'm happy to be in front of your audience. And like you said, it's rated R because we about to keep it real, raw, and authentic up in here.
Come on. Absolutely. Now, before we get started, tell our audience where you are interviewing from.
I am interviewing from Modesto, California. I'm
okay,
over on the West Coast.
California.
Yes.
How's the weather out there?
Extremely hot. This is the valley, and we are burning up over here. You know, luckily today it's only 93, but so we're getting a little break.
Only 93.
We about to be hitting the triple digits again soon.
So I really have met a real life valley girl, African American valley girl.
Well, I just moved here. I'm originally from Oakland, California. So
Oakland. All right. So you're on the West Coast. Give us a snapshot of who Kayshaun is. What Kayshaun coming from Oakland and now living in Modesto? How you get there, girl?
Well, you know what? I wanted a slower paced environment when having children. Their father and I, we both grew up in Oakland, and we knew what life was. You know, we grew up right in the hood, and we knew when we were going to have kids, we didn't want them to grow up in the hood, and we wanted them to have a better life than we had. So Modesto was a lot slower than Oakland. So that's what brought us out here.
Yes. Well, and how long have you been in Modesto, California?
Oh, about 25 years now.
25 years. Girl.
But I still frequent Oakland a lot. My parents are out there. I have a lot of family there. So we still visit often.
Okay. Well, now tell us, Kayshaun, holistic pain and trauma warrior. How'd you get that title?
Okay. So I am someone who suffers with chronic pain and chronic illness. And with my background in nursing and in holistic wellness of over 20 years, you know, I know both sides. And so the treatments that I've been going through, I tell people I didn't choose this life chose me. And I don't want to be butchered using Western medicine. You know, there's a purpose for everything, but I choose to do things holistically. But because it's been a battle for me, you know, several years ago, I was bedridden, You know, my kids had to be homeschooled for several years to take care of me. And as I was, you know, coming out of that dark place because their dad, my husband at the time, you know, left me bedridden with them. So it was like I wanted to give up in life, but I knew that I couldn't. And, you know, when you're being left, abandoned, however you want to look at it, and you're bedridden, suffering with chronic illness, in chronic pain, it's like, well, what am I doing? How do I get out of this? And one of my mentors was like, you know, Kayshaun, you got to start telling your story. You know, I have a holistic skincare business, and she was like, people want to know, like, and trust you. And I'm like, it's ugly behind here trying to build this brand. And so she was like, but still, you got to talk about it. Talk about your journey. And I was like, okay, well, who am I now? Because it's like, who is the real Kayshaun Brooks? Who is this woman who is now on her own, who had been with a man since she was 17, when she went from her daddy's house to his house, and now she's on her own. And I was like, okay, well, let me embrace this identity of who I am. And the Holistic Pain and Trauma Warrior was born. And now I'm a strong advocate for those living this life with chronic pain and chronic illness, and looking for more holistic ways in managing this lifestyle.
Yes, I love, you've given $1 million worth of wisdom in just that short time. You said, first of all, you're bedridden, you're going through this physical change in life, and then you're going through this relational change in life. And you said you just wanted to give up.
Yeah.
But somebody, a friend, somebody in your circle said, look, you got a story to tell. And it's time for you to tell it. Big ups to those people who are God sent, who will not let you give up, and say, in the midst of it all, you got to help not only yourself by telling your story, but you're going to help somebody else. So big ups to that friend, big ups to you listening, because sometimes we don't listen to who God sends into our life. Now, take us back. After your friend is saying, oh, you know what, you got this business. Now, big ups to the that you a nurse. All of most of my grandma was a nurse. My auntie was a nurse. My cousin just finished nursing school. My best friend is a nurse. First of all, I know what it takes to be a nurse, especially an African-American nurse. Okay.
Right.
Most of my sorority sisters are nurses too. Big up to the nurses. Why did you choose, first of all, I don't even think you chose nursing. Let me change it. Why did nursing choose you?
It was all around me. My mom was into holistic medicine, and she was on her way to being a doctor before the drugs took over her life. My grandmother was a nurse. My cousin was a nurse. So it was all around me. And, you know, initially I had a desire to be a doctor, but I ended up meeting, you know, my kid's father. And I was just like, okay, I don't want to do 12 years of school. So nursing was the next best thing to being a doctor. So, but it was in me. It's been always around me to just help people and to nurture people and talk to people. So I would say, again, it chose me. I didn't choose it, like you just said.
Yes. Thank you for your service, for your caring of people. Even as you're going through your own pain, and I know you still have that nurse's heart. So the Holistic Pain and Trauma Warrior. Who is your audience, who you're speaking to and helping with what you do?
Well, my audience first began with helping those with their skin. So I suffer with eczema. Some of my kids have eczema and psoriasis. And for the last 10 years that I was in nursing, I was customizing products, you know, for myself and my family, looking for a solution in the different, you know, health issues. So it went from making products for myself to people, dealing with cancer and, going through radiation, chemotherapy, diabetics, people, with kidney problems, all type of health issues. I was creating products for them. So it was just natural to me. I was still making money off of it, but it was just the love, looking for a solution for myself and for them. And I did it for a decade before I officially, turned into a business in 2018, which I had the opportunity. A friend of mine was opening up a store in downtown Oakland. And she was like, hey, I want your products in my store, but you got to be a legit business. It can't just be this little side hustle thing. And I was like, you know what? That's when Renew You Body Butters was born. But it was a blessing in disguise that I did that back in 2018 because, Lord behold, who knew that I was going to be severely injured at the prison that I was working at. And that ended my career in the medical field. So after like losing my mind, for like a year, because it was like I've been in this field for 20 years. Who am I? What do I do? I didn't know. And God was like, you already know what you're doing. You already been doing what you're doing. And I'm all like, wait a minute, hold up. This skincare product line. And, now it's grown to a 3-time award-winning, celebrity trusted. I have my own affiliate marketing program with close to 70 affiliates across the United States who promote my products and services. And so, but during that journey as well, when I lost my mind trying to figure out everything, I'm growing and starting this business, bed-ridden, in the bed and everything. And so when my friend was like, you got to get out and start sharing your story, a lot of people started responding to me like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going through this. I'm going through this too. You've been able to provide help. And then, the light bulb and the voice from God was like, this is why you've been going through this, because now you are going to be the voice to be able to help those not give up, to find a way to get through what they're going through. So my audience is people who need to feel confidence again, in their skin. When they look in the mirror, they want to feel beautiful, feel sexy, or, if they're suffering with eczema, psoriasis, or whatever, and breaking their skin, blood infection, they get to work with me and I'm going to help them their skin clear up and they feel confident where they can wear shorts and a t-shirt without the world pointing fingers at them. But then also those who suffer with chronic pain and don't want to just be on medication after medication, dealing with side effect after side effect. Now, I'm not going to hate on Western medicine. You get shot, get a stab wound. It's a time and a place, for everything. But if you can do things naturally, holistically, and go see a chiropractor, do some acupuncture, some massage therapy, why not do that instead of being on some pills that's going to cause another problem? So that is who my target audience is.
Wow, another $1 million worth of nuggets. Let me go back to the name of your business, because I'm big on titles and names, and God gave you that because you had to renew you before you could start and empower others. So that name, Renew You Body Butters, is not just a name, it's a mandate. First with yourself, and then you lost your mind, but God was saying, no, you already got it. Renew you. That's what he said. Renew you.
Look,
renew you.
Yes. And it took me a while to, and when I go back, this was during the time where I knew my marriage was like coming to an end, because I remember going to my husband. We're still legally married, but we've been separated for 5 years. But I remember going to him and was like, I'm about to take this business legit. Help me come up with a name. And he didn't want to have nothing to do with me, the business, none of it. And it was just like, damn, I'm doing this all by myself. So it was like, what is this going to be? And like you said, it was Renew You. I had, because I spent 3 years formulating these products where, when the medical community realized what I was doing, I got a lot of support from different cultures, different backgrounds. It was like, research this land, research this soil, this product, this ingredient, so I had a lot of support. So it was like, I had to renew my thinking. My product line, we do all plant-based, all organic products. We don't use any alcohol, no dyes, no artificial chemicals or preservatives. But it took me along that journey of several years to realize that there's a population of people who are very sensitive to these ingredients. So it was like I had to renew the way I was living my life, renew the way how my kids was living their lives, and even other people. And it's like, what am I, I had to literally watch the skin transform, so it was like Renew You was the perfect name. And the body butters was because that was the product that everyone was buying all the time. But I didn't know I was going to have this full hair, face, and body line down the road. But the Renew You is what really, and a lot of people catch that. And my slogan too is I tell everyone to remember to renew your skin and renew your life with Renew You Body Butter. So that Renew You is on point for a reason, and you caught that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love it. First of all, your life, your testimony. That's why big shout out to you. Got some good friends who say, "Girl, if you don't get up and do what you're supposed to do, I need you." You said your friend said you got to tell your story. Then your friend said, "Oh, I want this in my store, but you got to be legit." I can't have you in my store and I need you legit. So big ups to you that you are surrounding yourself with people who stretch and push you to elevate not only your vision, but your purpose. And then you said, okay, now I'm going to, as I'm telling my story, now the affiliate marketing comes in. That's a whole nother layer because that's training, that's teaching people, that's trusting people with your product, baby. How does one go from, this is something I'm just doing on the side. Now I'm doing it as my legit business, as your friends say. Now I'm gonna bring other people on. You like the melanin Mary Kay. Come on.
No. I'm the modern day Madam CJ Walker. That's who I am.
Thank you, Kayshaun. Thank you, Kayshaun. The madam, yes. Now I'm gonna have to go watch that docuseries again. Self-made.
Yes, self-made.
That's why I keep coming to my head. Self-made. How, and even with that, how did you, not knowing, because at every level you're new, you're renewing you because it's a new step. How did you continue to push yourself with something that was bigger than what you thought?
You know what? So this walk purely has been 100% in faith. I've been trusting in God and letting him lead me. I could not have planned any of this, but during that time when I was bedridden and had just launched the company online, because, when I first opened, I was just doing vendor shows here and there, but still working my nursing job. And so I didn't know nothing about shipping online or doing nothing like that. So when, after that year of losing my mind, figuring out what I'm going to do, it was like, okay, I got this website, redesigned, found my identity of who I wanted the company to be, launched out. And then literally a couple of months after launching, 2 women, 1 week apart, reached out to me and was like, hey, we like you. And they don't know each other. They just reaching out at different times. They're like, we like you, your mission, your products. Can we be your affiliate? And I'm all like, let me get back to you. So I go to my same friend, that mentor at the time. I'm all like, what is an affiliate and what do these women want? I had no idea what it is. And she was like, Kayshaun, you don't understand what's at your feet. She was like, you can be the holistic Mary Kay or the holistic Avon. And she was like, basically, they just want to sell your products and get paid a commission. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And I'm no stranger to network marketing, so I know how it goes. So I was like, okay, I think I can pull this off. And I'm like, well, I'm bedridden. I need this support. I didn't have the support from family, from friends, everyone who you would have thought would have been there for me while, my husband leaving me, being sick, being bedridden. It was like everyone who I thought was my support system wasn't. And I had to reach out to the online world, to the internet, to see who could I network, who could I collaborate and build relationships. And I took this affiliate program as that. So I went back to those ladies and was like, look, I'm just now learning what this is, but I'm going to take it seriously. And if you want to take this ride with me, let's go. And they signed their contracts and rolled with me. And I started it in March of 2020. By August of 2020, I had like 15 affiliates, my first celebrity brand ambassador. It was like, it just blew up, and I couldn't believe all these people were willing to support me. And the thing is, I did it by a different approach. I didn't just let anybody come sell my product. That's right. It's an application process. You're going to have an interview, and then I had to see if we were in alignment, and then how can I support you? So this is why I'm big on collaborating and building relationships, because these same affiliates who started with me, well, most of them who started with me in 2020, they still here in 2025. There is no revolving door when you're an affiliate of Renew You Body Butter. So some have been here for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. When they come, they stay. But I couldn't believe these people from all over the country was really feeling me. And what really opened my eyes was that same year, I was finally, I was having surgery. They were removing the tumors. We were going to find out if I had cancer and everything. But this, do you remember this app called Clubhouse during the pandemic?
Yes.
So that same friend was like, get on Clubhouse, because she wasn't letting no excuses of nothing. She was like, so what, you bedridden?
Kayshaun, you got some good supportive friends who want you to elevate.
And I met them online. I met these people online. That's what I said. Everything was sent by God. But I joined Clubhouse, and this company called the White Label World Expo found me and was like, we want you to exhibit at our expo. They put me in a magazine, on a website. I was a featured speaker. But the big blessing behind all of this, I knew I couldn't physically do this on my own. And with my children as small as they was at the time, why these affiliates who I have only known for that was 9 months, so it was 6 months. They flew from across the United States. I didn't have no money for a hotel. I didn't pay for no plane fees, but they believed in me, and they flew and came together to support me and the brand at this company in Las Vegas. I'm all like, oh, the whole world got to know about this now.
Listen, so not only are you bedridden, not only are you going through your husband left you with 2 kids, not only you have the trauma of not being able to work as a nurse, something you absolutely adored and worked for 2 decades. Now you're in a whole new world. That's why I keep hearing a whole new world.
Yes.
And when we get into a new world where we don't know, oftentimes people shrink back. But as you have shared each phase of how you got to where you are now, I heard you saying at the lowest point, somebody said, girl, get up, basically. You need to do this. And you listened. And because you listened, more blessings came. And so, and not only are blessings coming to you, now you have, how many affiliates do you have now?
I have 68 affiliates.
68 affiliates in 5 years. Say what we want to about the pandemic, but so many brilliant ideas and business ideas came out of the world shutting down. And 5 years into go from 2 in March of 2020 to now 68. Phenomenal. Now I understand the latter part of your title, trauma warrior, because despite of what you've gone through, you have exhibit being a warrior and being an example of what can be done when you think you can't do anything. Kayshaun Brooks, you have got to come back to Real Talk with Tanya White, because what can we get? Renew You, Body Brother, and you said you have hair products now. Where can we visit you, honey?
You can visit me on the website at www.renewyobodybutter.com. That's RenewYouBodyButter. And I'm on all social media platforms as Renew You Body Butter. So you can go to the website, you can DM me on the social media platforms. I'm not one of those owners that won't respond to you. I will respond, or someone in my team. Just know that this is a journey that we will be taking together.
And you better be in alignment with Renew You. Don't be playing, because if you're not in alignment, he ain't gonna sign you up for the Renew You journey. Kayshaun, you will be back. I am going to get, because that's what I love. I love Body Brothers. And now that I know your story, honey, I am going to be blasting it all over. One word of wisdom to a woman out there who's probably in your predicament. Husband walked out, spouse walked out, and she knows she has something else to give. But like you said, you lost your mind. What would you say to that woman right now?
I would tell that woman, live for you, and remember that no one is coming to save you. So you have to look at every opportunity, find the positiveness in every opportunity, in every situation. When it looks bad, find something positive, and you hold on to that positiveness, because the negativeness is always there. You can always find it, and you can linger on that. But when you find that glimmer of hope, of positivity, you hold on to that, because then when you think positive, it's going to start a snowball effect of other positiveness happening, because the negative is there. It's that light of that goodness, of that positive. And one last thing, don't be afraid to collaborate, network, and build relationships with people, because if I stayed around waiting on my friends and family, I would not be a world record holder, a 2-time best-selling author, or a 3-time award-winning with a celebrity trusted skincare company if I waited on them. I have all of this because I networked, I collaborate, and I built relationships.
You talking my life language, Kayshaun Brooks. Look, we're gonna be melanin sisters. My real life valley girl from Modesto, California. Kayshaun, you will be back on Real Talk with Tanya White. Thank you for persevering and doing what you do. Listen, y'all better share this, re-listen to this, get with Kayshaun, get her Body Brother. And if you want to be an affiliate, you better make sure you're aligned. I hope you learned from this. Holistic Pain and Trauma Warrior. I know I did. Listen, you guys, shout out to my September sponsors, Casper and Cheryl Stockholm, authors of the books Mastering Eve, Mastering Adam, and Divorce Proofing Your Marriage. Until next time, you guys, you know what I always say. Love your life, live your life, and laugh through your life. Thank you, Kayshaun. Love you guys.